Hello and welcome to Explaining to My Roommate. My name is Reagan.
And I'm Easton.
And we're roommates.
Yeah.
Kinda got that.
Kinda.
That was better than last week's.
I get nervous.
It's fine. It's okay. Alrighty. So, welcome back. This week is my week to talk about something.
Something?
I don't want to call it hyperfixations because I guess technically these are hyperfixations, but like this is just something that I guess it could be defined as a hyperfixation because I think about it a lot.
Yeah, you do. But anyway.
Anyways, so the topic for this week is, as we discussed last week, not BTS related.
Whatever.
I decided I'm going to space those out. But this week, we are going to talk about my list of irrational fears. Okay, so I feel like I need a little backstory. First of all, could this just be my undiagnosed anxiety?
Yeah.
Probably. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that fuels most of this. However, I feel as though these are some things that I'm very genuinely afraid of. And I feel I've deemed them irrational because this is not something that I've like heard many people talk about. Some of them are kind of acceptable, but some of them are just out there and wild.
Yeah.
But this week I'm going to be explaining to Easton I have 6 of them. There's probably a bunch more, but 6 are the only ones I could think of. Some of these Easton already knows of, is aware of, but I am going to go into a more like breakdown of where I think this stemmed from. And yeah, there's some interesting ones. Okay. So, to start this off, my number, okay, I don't even want to say it. My number one most irrational fear is being pantsed in public. I don't know where it came from specifically, but I have some ideas. So, I really don't know where this started. However, I do distinctly remember in 7th grade, all of the boys being obsessed with pantsing each other. Like, they would just... Now, it would only really happen in, like, PE, because we were all wearing the same gym shorts.
Yeah.
But, like, they were just obsessed with pantsing each other. Mm-hmm. And maybe that was just my school. I don't know if this happened in your middle school.
No, it didn't.
Maybe I just grew up with delinquents. Like,
maybe.
I don't know. I mean, we did go to a school that was relatively strict for a public school. Yeah. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if all these kids were acting out. But anyways, I remember middle school pantsing was, like, a big thing. Was I ever going to be pants? Probably not, because my friends weren't idiots. But that's the only memory I have of being pantsed in public, and that's the only thing I got. Now, it happens quite often in, like, movies, I guess. Yeah. Now, obviously, movies aren't real. However, I do have some things that I do to prevent me from being caught in the scenario of being pantsed in public. Now, here's my thing, though. I can't decide if it's just being pants period, like someone coming up and just pulling my pants down, or if it's getting caught on something and just ripping my pants. I think it is genuinely just being pants. Like, because, like, I'm sure if I, like, ripped my pants in public, it wouldn't be as embarrassing as being pantsed. But anyways, here's some of the things I do to avoid being caught in a scenario that would end up as being embarrassing. So, first of all, tucking in my shirt. That's to avoid the, like, if I squat down and my shirt rides up or something, or my pants slow down or fall down. That's to avoid that scenario, which isn't quite being pants, but it's exposing. And then wearing a belt. Yeah. Dude, I wear a belt every day. And if I'm wearing pants that don't need a belt, then it's drawstring pants, and they are tied so tight. You won't catch me in leggings. They're also uncomfortable. I just don't like leggings.
Yeah, no, I don't like leggings either.
I don't like how they feel on me. And then, this is a funny story, actually. So, in November, and this is for the podcast people listening, we went to a concert in Portland, and I left my belt at home.
I remember this. We stood in that fucking H&M for like 30 minutes while you looked for just the perfect belt.
Because I forgot my belt at home and I needed a belt, okay?
No one was gonna pants you at the concert.
I know, but what if they did? You never know.
I guess you're right. You never do know.
Oh. Anyways, the last thing that I do, which my dad still makes fun of me about this for this day, I wore spandex.
Damn.
Under my pants, shorts, skirts, bottoms, anything for years, starting in 7th grade. I mean, like, I still do it sometimes to this day, but for more specific reasons. Like, if I'm wearing a skirt, okay, gotta have a pair of shorts underneath. Mainly when I'm on my period, so I don't bleed through my pants. But, like,
getting
no. But, like, I wore them under every bottoms I owned for years straight. Damn. My dad still makes fun of me about it. But it just, I was terrified.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I'm still scared of it. You won't catch me dead without a belt.
Yeah.
Leaving the house. Anyways.
Except for to walk to the H&M.
Because I didn't have a belt.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the next one is sneezing while driving, then crashing the car.
I know about this one. And yet you still wear those goddamn claw clips.
This is the second time we've talked about this on the podcast. What Easton is referring to is I would wear plastic claw clips while driving, which you're not supposed to do because if you get in a car accident,
you will split your skull right open.
And that's mainly just because I keep forgetting they're in my head.
Anyways. I can't really talk shit because I do put my legs up on the dash frequently.
Yes. I'm aware. Anyways, so I know I can't control sneezing while driving. Like, it's gonna happen, but it scares the shit out of me, dude. Like what if in this millimeter of a second that I close my eyes to sneeze, a car just cuts in front of, like, spins out on the highway, and then I flip my car.
And we both die.
And we die. So it scares me so much. I've gotten a little bit better about it. However, I do still sometimes try to sneeze with my eyes open. I'll grip onto the wheels when I know how to sneeze, and I'm just, and then, end up closing my eyes while sneezing, and then just immediately opening them. I'm like, okay, we're not dead.
It's okay.
But yeah. So, that's number 2. Sneezing while driving. Crashing the car. Okay. Number 3. This one is... Yeah, number 2 is kind of small. Because, there's not much you can talk about.
Yeah, I was prepared to take more notes.
Get ready for number 3. Because number 3, I think, is a source of a lot of my anxiety. At a very young age, like, I don't know how young I was, but I remember this distinctly. Being shanked or stabbed by a random person.
Just being randomly stabbed.
Just being stabbed by a random person. Now, in today's, like...
Yeah, I'm more afraid of getting shot.
Yeah, society, it's not uncommon to be, we're gonna say, attacked or wounded. However, when I was a child, I refused to sit next to strangers.
So fair, though.
Refused to do it. And now, most kids would... I'm not... Like, that's not an uncommon thing for children to, like, not want to sit next to strangers. Because, like, you don't know these people. Like, that makes sense. I was scared because I thought I was going to get stabbed by this person. Like, that is why I didn't want to sit next to people. And I just refused to do it for years. It would become when I got older, it would become an argument between me and my sister when my sister became that age where she didn't want to sit next to strangers either. So we had to, like, when it was just me, my mom, and my sister, or me, my dad, and my sister, just the 3 of us rather than all 4 of us, me and my sister would argue. Damn. And I would always now, in more recent years, like, I'm still terrified about it.
Yeah.
I will let Lauren sit in the middle. But the other thing about this specific fear is I feel like it fueled my anxiety about talking to strangers. Like, it somehow it just, like, developed itself from starting to just not wanting to sit next to them to then not wanting to talk to them, period.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is not uncommon. Like I said, I feel like this is not an uncommon, but, like, I feel like this is a little bit too niche.
Yeah.
I don't think every person, like, There aren't like children walking around at the age of 9 going, I don't want to sit next to the person. What if they stab me?
Yeah, literally. Like,
No.
I was just a little bit too attached to my mommy.
Yeah. Like attachment issues, but like, oh my God. I don't know where it came from. Like, maybe I just watched too much cop shows as a kid.
Yeah, you did start watching those cop shows at like a young age.
Yeah, I watched NCIS very young. Anyways, yeah. And like, I would walk around for like most of elementary school and middle school talking about how I had a fear of strangers.
Yeah.
It's specifically in like uncommon
Yeah.
areas. Like school, I was fine because like even like the 8th graders that I didn't know because and like the 8th grade teachers, they were fine because they were teachers in school. And then now obviously I was scared to meet new people, but like if it were in a area that I was okay with, like school or work is sometimes better, but like sometimes
I don't know, someone did get stabbed in my high school recently.
Some people, I don't think anybody got stabbed in my high school, but they did in the other high school in my district.
It was this year. It was some girls fighting in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And got stabbed. Fun fact. So you should be afraid of school.
Yeah,
actually.
See, like I just
that was the point.
I don't know. It's just I feel like it's not. I feel like it's an irrational. Now it's not. I don't think it's irrational to be afraid or anxious of other people.
But maybe thinking that every single stranger has a knife on them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's
a little
probably
too much.
Not.
I'm gonna write that in my notes. A little too much.
It's a little bit too much. Yeah. Okay. This next one is okay. So this next one is actually like a. I don't think it's an irrational fear because it is a fear. It is a named fear that people have. But I am so afraid of cruise ships and big boats.
You're no fun.
I do not ever want to go on a cruise ship. But like cruise ships and like I feel like I need to like specify. So I'm not afraid of boats per se. I'm afraid of big boats.
The Titanic.
So like the Titanic. Okay. Note. Put a pin in that. Okay. Like I want so like I've been on a ferry.
Yeah.
That was a little bit scary.
Yeah.
I didn't but I halfway through I was okay because like we were just going from one of the Puget Sound Islands back to Seattle, one of those ferries. And I was okay with that.
I'm like, okay.
But it was one of those because it was like relatively close to surrounding like land people.
They could get out little boats to you.
Yes.
They could get little boats.
However, I will refuse to go on a big ship that crosses extensive bodies of water. How do they get to you? What do you...
Well, these days there's a lot of regulations and there's enough lifeboats for everyone on the boat. And also, like, that's really it. There's enough lifeboats. There's enough lifeboats. And also, like, radios are better these days.
But I have literally a point on my notes that says, we all saw what happened to the Titanic.
Like, the problem with the Titanic was that there weren't enough lifeboats.
And when
have you not read Violet Jessup's autobiography? I haven't. I've only listened to the audio.
But like that's what fueled it. The Titanic. Someone told me about what happened to the Titanic at a very young age, and I was like, I am never ever getting on a cruise ship or a big boat. Because if it crashes in the middle of the ocean, I'm dead. Yeah. Gone.
Well, not necessarily.
In my brain I am, though.
They just didn't have enough lifeboats.
I know they didn't have enough lifeboats, okay?
I've said that like 5 times right now.
That doesn't stop my fear, okay?
Okay.
I also have a little note, because I've been seeing this a lot on TikTok. Pirates, still very much a thing.
They are.
And that scares me. Like,
although I feel like pirates would have a difficult time taking a giant cruise ship. Yeah.
However, I did Google this. So it is a genuine fear, but naviphobia is the fear of
navigation.
It's called naviphobia. Navi phobia. Naviphobia. It's the fear of boats and cruise ships.
What is that? Like, I guess Navy is also NAV.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. However, I will say, again, small boats are fine.
Yeah.
Like, it really is across big bodies of water. Now, I'm not afraid of big bodies of water. Mm-hmm. I just choose not to go in them.
Yeah. I don't know. I would love to live on a little sailboat. Mm-hmm. And there was also a point, I still kind of think about this. I still think about working on a cruise ship.
Nope.
I still think about just, like, working on one. I think I'd have a great time.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, in recent months, I've kind of realized that I really want to travel for a large portion of my life. And I'm like, cruise ship? Easy. Working on one.
Become a flight attendant.
No, I don't like the air. I'd rather be on a boat. No. See.
We're the opposite. I'd rather be in the air, dude.
No. At least boats have lifeboats. The plane doesn't have lifeboats.
But death is instantaneous almost always. So.
And unless you're Lexi Gray, you get eaten by fucking wolves. I don't even watch Grey's Anatomy.
I forgot about that. Weren't there like 2 plane crashes in that show?
I don't even watch Grey's Anatomy.
Oh my god, neither do I. But
I see clips on TikTok.
Anyways.
Yeah, no, I'd rather be on a boat.
But, yeah, so fear of cruise ships and big boats, specifically ones that cross extensive bodies of water. Okay, this next one. I just have written number 5, authority figures. Dude. Okay, so basically, I need to explain. I feel like I need to explain this one a little bit. It's not like, okay, I have examples written down, but it's basically anybody that isn't a higher power than me that I could suffer heavy consequences from them.
Yeah.
Exhibit A, general managers.
Gross. GMs.
Customs agents. And TSA agents. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about why each of these scare me. First of all, general managers. Now, the 2 general managers that I have been under in my years of work experience so far are some of the nicest people I've ever met. My general manager where I work now, he is so sweet and so kind. Whenever there's something wrong or you've done something wrong, as long as it's not something like stealing or like showing up to work intoxicated. If it's something that's happened, that you did something wrong, he genuinely has a really great way of talking to you about, like, hey, here's what you did wrong, here's what we need to work on fixing. Yeah. He's quite good at that, so like, you're not, like, being hit over the wrist with a ruler.
Just like, fucking beating you up.
But, and, like, he's the nicest man ever, but I am so scared to talk to him. Whenever we have to, like, page him, I will be staring at the intercom system for a good minute before I can press the button to page him. Like, and I don't like going up into the office if he's in there because I'm afraid. What if I did something wrong?
Yeah.
And I don't know it?
What if he's just waiting?
What if he's just waiting to fire me?
Like, I feel like they would just come downstairs and fire you, though.
They'd call me to the office.
Yeah. But if you're just going up there to talk to him about something else, why would he just be sitting in there like fucking Lex Luthor just waiting for you? I
have been called to the office once, okay? And it was for them to tell me I did a good job on something.
Damn.
Literally, I had probably been working there for like 2-3 months. Yeah. And we have this thing called mystery shoppers, and you get graded on your performance. Yeah. And so one of the managers, not my general manager, one of the assistants called my manager of my department and was just kind of like, hey, can you send Reagen up here? And Betty just goes, Reagen, they need you up in the office. And I'm just like,
no.
Right now, I'm in the 90 days. They can just fire me. And then it was just for them to go, congratulations, you got 100%. You get a gift card.
Like, lit, thanks.
Lit, thanks.
Dude,
and now general managers are a big one.
Yeah.
However, I have a fear of just, I did something wrong. And so anytime Betty goes...
TSA customs. What if I accidentally brought a bomb?
That's literally what I wrote. You're stealing my thing.
I'm sorry.
This is my time to talk.
Okay, I just wanted to make a whole joke. I guess I'll just never talk again. I guess I'll just never say a word ever again.
No, I'm joking, but I did write that down. We'll go into that in a second. Okay. But like even Betty, who I have worked for her for almost 2.5 years now. I am like her pride and joy. I am the baby. I can't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
However, anytime she goes, Reagen, come here and let me talk to you about something. I go, what did I do wrong?
What did I do?
I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything wrong.
She goes, we're not going to say his name.
Yeah. But it's one of those, I go, did I do something wrong? And she looks at me and goes, Reagen, you don't ever do anything wrong. And I'm like, I know, but like, what if I did unintentionally do something wrong? And then the second something happens that like may or may not have been my fault, I immediately go, it wasn't me.
Nope.
I didn't do it. But yeah, no, general managers like Kelly from where I used to work, she was very blunt.
Yeah.
But she was a nice person and she stood up for us all the time. But I was just so afraid of her. Yeah. Like I was like, I don't want to work with you. You scare me. Anyways, okay, customs guards. Now, I have been through customs 3 times in total. We'll say going there and back.
Yeah.
3 separate times because I've gone out of the country 3 times. Okay. The first time, oh my God, I was by myself. The first time I ever went through customs, I was alone because it was on a school trip to Canada. And I had to go up there by myself. This was junior year, so at 16?
Yeah.
I had just gotten my license. Like, freaking out. Okay. Yeah. And so the reasons why the custom guards is now on this list is because you're not allowed to bring nuts into Canada. I don't know what that's about. You're not supposed to. I think it's maybe because you can like hide things in nuts easier. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're not allowed to bring like homegrown fruit into California. Yeah. I was thinking something more like that. Like,
maybe that might be it too. But like my friend Marie I love her. But she had a bag of almonds, and she didn't have a backpack. She left it on the bus, and she was trying to put it in my backpack.
No.
And I was like, you can't do that.
No. Throw the almonds away.
I made her throw them away. Dead ass. Made her throw them. I feel so bad about this today. I probably apologized so many times.
But like, she was trying to take contraband
into Canada, and I was freaking out, okay? High school is when my anxiety really started appearing. And I just terrified. I was so afraid that I was going to do something wrong and that they weren't going to let me into the country. Now, my parents also followed us on that trip. Yeah. So I probably would have just had to sit at customs
and wait
for my parents.
Yeah.
But that's where it started. And now, the other 2 times I've been through customs, I've just stood by my parents and I was like, hi, what's up? I'm gonna let my parents do all the talking, please and thank you. Yeah. Anyways, dude, it's actually really funny because this is actually really common in like TV shows. It is so easy to get into Mexico. Yeah. Like the way that the customs worked is you pressed a button. If it was green, you could just go straight through. If it turned red, they'd stop you and check your bags.
And then just let you.
It was totally random.
Damn.
So, yeah. But, and then now, of course, coming back into the U.S. That was quite easy, but like.
Well, you're white.
But, yeah, we're white.
Yeah. I'm like, well.
So, that was probably it. Anyways, next one, TSA agents.
Dude, the TSA where we live, everyone is super nice. Everyone is very lovely and kind. I'm taking over your whole thing, but like when last time I had to get on a plane, the ones where we live were so kind, and then coming back, because we flew to Vegas, and then we were flying back from Vegas. The ones in Vegas were so mean to me,
dude.
I thought I was gonna cry.
Okay,
I was like, they were just so mean for no reason. I get that it's busy, but there's no reason to like yell at these like 2 kids. You know?
Like okay.
Anyway, that's my opinion on the TSA.
Easton's afraid of saying where we live. However, I will. Okay, so not growing up because I lived in Texas for a good chunk of my life, but then when we moved to Washington, the airport that I frequent was SeaTac.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows anything about Seattle Tacoma International Airport. Oh my god, it's like on like the top 5 list of worst airports, like with LAX and I want to say Orlando Airport, and then I've been to the Orlando Airport. Those TSA agents are also scary.
Yeah, I'm just like...
but like it's like, man, it is 5 o'clock in the morning. Why are you yelling at me?
No, and literally for what reason?
For what reason? And then
you guys fail 96% of your exams,
literally,
the fucking little tests.
And like, it's one of those. It's like, what if something just appears in my bag? What if magically there's a bomb in my bag? And so every time I get stopped, I just immediately, now I have to keep myself calm, because if I'm by myself, if I'm not by myself, if I'm like with my parents or something, obviously like they're behind me so they can vouch for me. But like if I'm by myself, what?
Yeah.
And so specifically when we were flying home from Mexico a couple years ago, when I was going from SeaTac, they like checked my bag. It got flagged.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I had been through, when I was flying home on my last flight home, at that point I had been through 4 or 5 different TSAs. So like, this is the last time I'm going through TSA. Thank goodness. Nothing is flagged yet, and I hadn't changed what was in my bag. My suitcase got flagged, and homeboy is in there unzipping the lining.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, what if someone put a bomb in my... Mind you, I had already been through a TSA earlier that day. There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
But specifically the worst one, which actually really funny, this involves TSA, which could also be a part of, not quite authority figures, but TSA. Maybe I'm just afraid of TSA.
Maybe.
But when they brought in those big like body scanning machines, with the one where you stand and you hold a pose and it circles around you.
Yeah.
I was terrified of those.
Yeah.
Because since I'm afraid of TSA agents, what if I move too soon?
Literally. And what if they just shoot me?
And yell at me, shoot me, handcuff me for moving.
Drag me away.
Like leave. And so they brought those out, I want to say in high school. So like 2015 is when they started bringing those out. And I somehow, for all 4 years of traveling in high school, managed to avoid going through those, because I was with my sister.
Damn.
And she looks younger than me, and they would just let us go through the walk-through metal detectors. It was great, but those things scare me. Now they're fine.
Yeah, I've never had to be in one of those before. They don't have them where we live, and they didn't have them in the Vegas airport. Yeah. Those are the only ones I've ever... Yeah. No, I went to Hawaii when we were, I want to say I was like 15, 14, 15. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what that one was like. I don't know. But
they're fine. They're really easy. I have anxiety. Anyways, but the worst thing about it that's happened to me in TSA is she had to swab my hands for bomb residue.
When?
Oh, shoot, when was this?
Was that Mexico?
No.
Because you didn't tell me about that.
No, this was like years ago. I can't remember if I was traveling by myself or as if I was with my family. But like so I went through the body scanner. None of my bags flagged. All of my bags went through perfectly fine. Okay. Went through the body scanner. Something flagged on me. I think I must have moved, or I was wearing a hat, or I wear necklaces. That tends to flag. But she's like, okay, I gotta pat you down and I gotta swab your hands for bomb residue. And I'm like, did I just get randomly selected? I'm confused. Yeah. And like, I'm freaking out. Yeah. And I'm like, Reagen, you haven't touched bomb residue.
But what if like the metal on your car?
Maybe. Like... What if I touch something that is the same as bomb residue? Yeah. But I was like freaking out.
And also, like, wouldn't people who build bombs wash their hands? Like...
It stays on your hands.
Oh, damn. Mm-hmm. It's like, you can never really clean up blood off the floor. Like, there's still going to be,
it's like a little bit. When you, like, pull the fire alarm and it's, like, sprays that stuff.
Oh, I see.
It's like that. But, like, I freaking out, okay? And, like, I'm trying to remind myself, you haven't touched a bomb. You haven't touched a bomb. You've never touched a bomb in your entire life. But what if I had? Yeah. What if I held hands with someone by accident who touched a bomb and that transferred onto my hand? I don't know if that's how it works.
I don't know.
Because I don't know anything about bombs other than what I see on TV. Cut the red wire. I don't know. But I just terrified. So that's where the TSA agents and authority figures come into play. I don't know. It really is just I have a fear of failure also, but that's a pretty normal one. So like, what if I do something wrong?
Yeah.
And that leads me to fail in life.
I'm just gonna put a little fear of failure. So put that there. Overarching in your life.
Overarching in my life, which I can
tell me, how important is academic success to your self-image? Tell me, Reagan.
No comment. No comment at all. I'm trying really hard to have a 3.5 GPA by the end of graduating.
I've given up on that. I'm at like a 2.7. I mean, my thing is I've been a C student for a very long time. I guess I care more about test scores than my GPA. Like, if I get a low grade on a test, I'm like crying.
Yeah.
But if I get a low grade on my homework, I'm like, fuck you guys. You know? I don't know.
Dude, well, you know what? Since we're talking about overarching fear and academic validation, we can talk a little bit about this. I don't know, maybe it's because my mom's a teacher and I just grew up around the school system. I'm just so afraid of failing. My parents have told me on multiple occasions, it's okay. They weren't like that originally.
Yeah.
Like, originally, my dad was like, you have a B? Why?
Yeah. No, my mom was the same because she was like, she wasn't valedictorian, but she was like she had really good grades in high school. And it wasn't until she like looked at my homework. So for a long time, she was like, why are you getting C's? I know you're better than this. And then she looked at my AP, like my AP biology homework, and she was like, oh, this is for real college level shit that like my 15-year-old child is doing.
Yeah, no.
And so like once my mom realized that like the standards of like how difficult the work were changing, she was just like, okay. Because she was a C student in college. When she was like really good in high school and in college, she was like, oh. So she was like, okay.
Yeah. I think it might have been what changed is when I probably first said out loud to my parents something I had kept inside of me my entire life was math makes me feel stupid.
Yeah.
Because I don't get math. I mean, like, I get it, but I don't. I can do it, but, like, it doesn't click in my brain. How do these numbers make these numbers? I don't know. But I think it probably would have been the first time I had ever said that. And I think my parents were finally like, oh.
We've been making our child sad.
Yeah. Now, and also, like, another thing about it that I think shaped my fear of failure, specifically academic validation, is so I went to the fundamental core years of my life in the school system was in Texas.
Yeah.
So elementary school and the first half of middle school, which are like your very foundational. And the Texas education system spent millions of dollars creating their curriculum. They worked so hard on it.
And it was terrible.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's a good curriculum, kind of.
Yeah.
It's weird. But, like, I was seeking academic validation from a very young age.
Yeah.
Because you had to take, starting in 3rd grade, you had to take what was called the STAR test, which was your yearly. And so it was a huge thing, okay? You took your STAR test, and you had to take a benchmark at the beginning, and there were benchmarks you had to meet. And I, almost every time, because I'm a terrible test taker.
Yeah.
I cannot take tests.
That's where we're different.
Yeah. But it would show me where I am, and I was either just barely past the benchmark or at the benchmark.
It would show you what you got. In Washington growing up, they didn't show you what scores you got.
Nope. You had, in 5th grade specifically was the only, I think every year, they would pull you out of class and you had a meeting with your teacher about where you placed.
No.
And,
No, we did not do that in
Washington.
No,
the Texas education system is so, like, I don't know how to explain it, but they want their kids to do well. I just feel like it doesn't work.
They changed the standardized test like 3 times while I was in school.
Yeah.
So, like, even in just when I was in elementary school, they changed what the test was. So there may have been a time where it showed you the score, but I don't remember it, like, showing me on a little, like, bar where I was on the benchmark.
Nope. Yeah, no, we got showed that. It's like, it was like the SAT.
Oh,
that's how they showed you. That's
we
what
didn't,
it was like.
I mean, we took the PSAT starting in like 8th grade, but
I did that too. Well, I was here in 8th grade.
Yeah.
It was timed. Our tests were timed. Like, it was literally like a mini SAT every year,
starting from like
3rd grade.
Damn, because we took standardized tests, but it was more for the teachers.
Yeah, it was more to like show where you. And I realized that because my school district here had a standardized test that was just a benchmark test to see where you work, also called STAR, and I freaked out.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was gonna have to take the STAR test again. It was not. Anyways, so I think that's a little topic of
little bit of a tangent, but it's okay.
But you know,
I mean, academic validation. I fear, because like we're graduating this year, and you're still gonna be going to school, but I'm not, and I'm just like, who am I without school? Who am I? I'm so scared. That's my irrational fear.
You can always just take random college classes.
I could. I'm thinking about like taking writing workshops at the community college near where we're moving.
But yeah. Okay. Tangent over. Now on to my last irrational fear.
1, 2. I have. Wait, how many did you say you have?
6.
Oh, I have 6. I thought you said 8 for some fucking reason.
No.
Okay.
So, 6. Now, I'm gonna preface. This is a new one that's developed. Being locked / trapped in the basement freezer.
At work? I thought you were about to say like in the basement because we live in a basement apartment.
No.
I thought you were about to say in the basement. I'm like, you could just call.
No, I have multiple exits for the basement. The basement freezer at work, terrified. Okay. I am so scared of being trapped in there. Okay. Like, so I have listened. This is my newest fear, and it started when I began working at my current job, where I have to frequently, as in almost every day, go downstairs to this big, like a restaurant freezer, like a big box freezer that has a latch handle. Yeah. And I just, it scares me.
Yeah.
Now, first things first, there's no cell service in the freezer. It basically cuts off your, because like it's like big walls of just paneling, and it's super thick insulation. You can't call anybody.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you can bang on the door. There's almost always someone down in the basement.
And also, ours at my work has like an emergency latch. Like you can.
You need to stop talking.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being mean, but you just keep saying everything I've written. I spent a lot of time on this Easton, and by a lot of time, I mean 30 minutes yesterday. I spent way more time on
mine. Anyways. So, and then I wrote after that, however, there's literally a failsafe. Yeah. There's a button you have to press. So, like, if you get closed in there, there's a button you can press to open.
Although there's so many, like, 911 episodes, not specifically 911, but, like, cop show episodes where someone gets trapped in that freezer and the failsafe breaks.
Yeah, see?
So, I guess.
And then, so I did to prevent me getting locked in the freezer, I just leave the door wide open.
Yeah, I try not to close it all the way. Not that I'm necessarily afraid of being trapped. I just don't like it being I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we share this fear.
I'm so scared. Like, the only thing I can think of now, so totally unrealistic, is that episode of Austin and Ally where they get trapped in the ice cream freezer and they try and call Des, and it's like in the middle of the night, and they're like wearing like shorts and tank tops, and they're just in there for hours and don't die. And I'm like,
the opposite of that Victorious episode.
Victorious episode?
No, they're trapped in the trailer and it's super hot.
Oh yeah. No, literally. But so I do that. So I don't care if it wastes more energy to leave the door, but like everybody leaves the door open. No one closes themselves in the freezer, okay? But I leave that door wide open.
Yeah. That's fair, actually. I don't leave it wide open because it's in a big shared hallway with like a bunch of different venues, but I don't close it all the way.
Yeah. But I'm just terrified. Yeah. Like, what if I'm just going to get locked in there and I'm going to die in there.
You're going to freeze to death.
Freeze to death. And
Mount Everest core.
Literally. But yeah, that is all of the, that's all the things that I have for my irrational fears. There's probably way more, but these are the only ones I could think of.
Going around a school bus.
Shut up. What if I hit the kids? Anyways, okay. Now I'm going to come up with questions to ask Easton. Okay, we are now back with questions. It's question time. Okay, first questions is, what is the fear of ships/cruise ships called?
Oh, nabophobia?
Yeah.
I didn't write that down. Jeez. All right.
I figured you remember it because it was dumb.
Yeah, it's a little dumb. I mean, maybe if I knew the real origin of it, but at this point I'm just guessing. I'm like, Navy, navigation? Like, what the fuck? Anyway.
Okay. Why do I have a fear of being pantsed / where do I think it stemmed from?
I wrote boys gross in 7th grade.
Okay. I'm gonna need a little bit more than that.
Like the boys in 7th grade were all being gross and pantsing each other.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be it. All of the 7th graders that I went to school with were pantsing each other for some reason.
For some fucking reason.
3. What did my friend try to put in my backpack when crossing the border?
Almonds.
Yeah.
You've told me that story a few times.
I was so scared.
I know.
I made her throw them away.
I know.
And did they check my backpack? No.
No.
They did not. Okay. 4. What age did I start taking standardized tests?
What did you say? Like 5th grade, or was it younger? Was it 3rd or 5th? Oh god. I'm gonna go with 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 3rd grade.
I didn't write any of that stuff down.
I know. So. Number 5. Name the 3 authority figures I'm afraid of.
GMs, TSA, Customs.
Yeah.
I did write that one down. I even have it in a cute little chart with the reasons.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that is all I have.
Woo! Perfect score once again for Easton.
Dude, that's because I talk about easy things.
Okay, that's true. I do be just lore dumping on you.
Yeah. I try. Anyways, so next week is Easton's turn
again. I'm starting to wonder if I should maybe take a break. Well, no, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about everything that I want to talk about for Dragon Age Origins and then take a little Dragon Age break before going into Dragon Age 2. So next week will still be Dragon Age. Sorry, Mom. I know you hate listening to me talk about Dragon Age. And sorry, Reagan's grandma, too. I'm kidding. I love you, Grammy.
I think that's just because our episodes are so long.
Yeah, no. But my mom, for real, should be listening to my whole episodes, but she just doesn't.
Will she even know we talked about this?
Probably not.
Oh, wait, it's my episode. Yeah, so yeah, she'll probably know.
She'll probably listen to the whole thing.
Anyways, we will see you next week with a new episode. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.